Breaking news, we just learned an officer has been injured and taken to a medical center.
Officers are gathered at Bristol Regional Medical Center for Sullivan County Deputy Steve Hinkle, who we've just learned has passed away.
This is just sad for the family, sad for our community. We've lost a good man.
Just pray for comfort, you know, just help us get through this hard time.
Thank you for joining us for this special from News 5 as we honor the life and legacy of Sullivan County Sheriff Sergeant Steve Hinkle. With his services, I'm Preston Ayers.
And I'm Julie Newman. News 5 is honored to bring you this live service as it begins. And of course, we will stay with this service through its entirety as a tribute to Officer Hinkle.
You're now looking inside. This is live inside Sullivan Central High School in the school gymnasium there. You see the empty seats there. That is largely to be filled with law enforcement and, of course, the Hinkle family also there as well. A crowd also gathering in the bleachers and the stands around for this public celebration of life service that we will be carrying for you here, but also just looking at the life and the dedication. And this is a very fitting place for this service.
It certainly is. He spent many years here as a school resource officer, walking these hallways, getting to know this school family, the students, the faculty, really being a part of the community. Now, we know a little bit about what we're going to see this morning in the service that we're going to bring you.
Yeah, we'll begin with a processional that will come in from the Sullivan County Law Enforcement. Will lead this in, and then some special music will begin. A song, Celebrate Me Home, performed by Charles Hickman.
That's right, and then we're going to hear the prayer and opening remarks. That's going to be done by Mike Malone, and really to bring the community in and get this underway.
Another musical performance coming from Rodney Dillard. There is a time and words of comfort. One of two pastors will be speaking during the ceremony today. That will come from Pastor Tim Price, will be the first pastor that we see speaking during this morning's service.
Right, there's also going to be a living prayer. That's going to be done by Sergeant Matthew Price and his wife, Sandra. So many people contributing to honoring Sergeant Hinkle.
And also Pastor Jerry Music, a part of this as well, with some words of comfort. And Redeemed, a great song being performed by Colby Williams there today. And also lots of law enforcement agencies are there from not only around our region. And we're now going to go back outside live now to the Sky 5 drone outside of Sullivan Central High School as we are seeing a processional coming in right now. And we're watching this unfold just as you are. We believe that this is the procession of Sergeant Steve Hinkle's body is now arriving at Sullivan Central High School. You're watching this live right now out there in Blountville.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have this Sky 5 drone video that really gives you a bird's eye view of how this is happening. You can see there the entrance into the high school and the flags that are sort of sheltering the entryway there.
And watching the law enforcement being led in there by Tennessee Highway Patrol, and also being greeted, I think, fitting there by a Sullivan County school bus, which is part of a, you know, as a school resource officer, it's the school there as well. But you see the motorcycles on both sides surrounding the hearse as it arrives. And I'm just going to kind of let this play out for a moment and watch this happen with you as this is folding out in Sullivan County. You know, Julie, the precision that we're seeing unfold today is a big part of this as well.
So emotional, such a display of honor and tribute to our law enforcement. Truly, it is a brotherhood, and you can tell. You see all the white cars there? Those are law enforcement vehicles, and they aren't just from this area. So many people from all around the country have shown an outpouring of support for Sergeant Hinkle, and many of them are here today. I
saw Virginia State Troopers arriving there this morning, getting off the exit there, and it's just some from out of state. But also another, I imagine, a difficult part of today is this is a very difficult day for the law enforcement community, but Sergeant Hinkle was a part of the Honor Guard. This was part of what he did as well for his brothers in blue, and today they will honor him as well, the Honor Guard, at his service today.
Also a very difficult day for his family. Sergeant Hinkle was also a brother, not just in the brotherhood, but a brother. He was, of course, a son. He was a father and a grandfather.
Detail about face. Forward, march.
Officers and their families live with that reality every day, but one of the reasons that they're willing to do that is because of love. They love their community. They love the people that make up that community. They love us enough to put themselves in harm's way to protect us.
Looking back, Steve and his family not only were part of a church family and still are, Steve and Audie and the family, all there, but they're still part of our lives and of your lives. And so Steve Hinkle is now absent from the body, but present with the Lord. Forward, whoa.
Okay, you're looking at the outside of Sullivan Central High School right now. As the casket is about to come through that doorway there, you can see officers lining the route, making a path for him to come through.
There's a little bit of time here as we're waiting on that to come through the hallway there of the school, where we're not able to see as it's made its way out of the gymnasium, but I believe we're about to see that as Sergeant Steve Hinkle's body is leaving Sullivan Central High School, in the school that he was the school resource officer at for so many years, loved by that school. He was also an SRO at Sullivan East High School as well. We're going to watch this continue to play out. You're watching this live from our drone above, but you see the officers, many of them Sullivan County, and even as far away as Florida. There's so many departments here that are helping with this right now. But I think one of the most moving parts, Julie, that I've seen this morning was watching that honor guard. It's been such an amazing service, but watching the honor guard and the salute. And this is a group that he was also a part of.
It's not something any of us will soon forget, watching them salute his casket. And you're right, Preston, this is something that he was doing for other fallen officers as part of his time with the sheriff's office. And it really kind of brings it full circle to see this tribute, you know, to him in this way. And
we mentioned his 27 years with the department, but really it's more than 30.
Oh, yeah.
He was 5 years before he was full-time, and the time that he spent with that department, but 27 full-time, and then had gone back on patrol. He asked to do so, to get back out in the community and to serve those out there, and it's exactly what he was doing. We heard him talking about that he had a love for the job. He was called to do that, and that's what he was doing on Saturday, was answering a call for help and was serving the community that he loved so much. We heard that from the speakers there today, and talking about what his love for Sullivan County and the community that he served.
And he served in so many ways. He was also a certified firearms instructor, and his brothers say that he was one of the best shots on the force. Truly, he was a master certified instructor. He was also a master patrolman. We talked about his time as a school resource officer, not only here at Sullivan Central, but also at Sullivan East.
So very well prepared, very well trained for the call that he was responding to. And you know, it's a reminder that these officers never know what the call is going to be like when they arrive, whether it's going to be seemingly routine or one where that they know every day when these men and women put on their uniform and that they go that they may not be able to make it back home, and the sacrifices that they make, but also that of the family. We're going to go back now and just let this play out as the casket is about to leave Sullivan Central High School.
Preston, Julie, I'm outside of Sullivan Central right now where the processional for Sergeant Hinkle is about to begin. I'm going to we're going to give you guys a look at what we're looking at right now. Hundreds of officers are here today to honor Sergeant Hinkle. Pastors today spoke about who he was and how much he just really loved his job.
And we are watching the procession there begin to leave Sullivan Central High School. As we see the number of cars, this is going to take some time for that to get fully on the road. You're watching live from our Sky 5 drone right there hovering over that scene. But, you know, we're also, as we're carrying this live on WCYB Channel 5, and we'll continue to do so, we're also been streaming live on our Facebook page. And so many of you, more than probably 400 of you, have commented talking about the service of Officer Hinkle and just sending your love and support. I was looking through here just a moment ago and seeing respect and gratitude coming from as far away as Afghanistan. We are now traveling with the procession. This is our live camera that is going to be traveling along with them. There will be officers behind where our camera is moving. Our Ellie Romano is going to be traveling with this as we make our way to Kingsport. So it's a unique vantage point that we're able to provide for you as we move along. This is traveling there with them, so we're going to see just what it's like as this procession moves. Traffic is going to be coming to a stop, and you know, we're about to head south on Interstate 81, and for someone just passing through, what a sight this is going to be for them.
Preston and Julie, you were talking earlier about some of the most moving moments were likely going to be from here at the cemetery, at the graveside ceremony, and we've really caught some glimpse of that already this morning. I want you to look. We're quite a ways away from the vault, the space where Officer Hinkle or Sergeant Hinkle is going to be buried. And off in the distance, I don't know if you can see, but there are some officers. They've been practicing for this ceremony. But
look at the fire trucks that are lined up there as we pass under this overpass there. That's going to be the overpass at the airport exit there. Exit 63 would take you over to the airport parkway as we ride along, and just seeing the multitude of fire trucks and firefighters standing up there as well. And
rest in peace. You see it there on the flashing sign, Sergeant Steve Hinkle. Wow.
I wanted to show you guys, let's pan around here, just this group of people that started to form here within the last, I don't know, 15 and 20 minutes or so. And a lot of people here just with flags and people just waiting patiently. We're already seeing some police cars even just waiting, showing their respects. And I even walked down Lynn Garden Drive a couple blocks or so just to see, and there's even more police cars up in the distance.
We are still in the procession line on Interstate 81 heading towards the I-26 interchange, and as you can see right now, we're going southbound, and traffic northbound on the interstate has actually stopped, with cars stopping by choice to pay their respect to Sergeant Steve Hinkle.
You know, we're outside the service and watching the public stop and paying their respects and standing outside. But back to the service, which was so fitting and painted a picture for us. We got to feel like we knew a man that sadly neither one of us ever met.
So many people that knew him so well got up there and talked to us about the person that he was, really helped this community learn more about him. We learned about him as, you know, one who enjoyed the country, one who enjoyed animals, one who enjoyed fishing, one who had a horse, and one that really knew how to laugh and have a good time with his friends.
And we heard that also. They called him Two Gun Steve, or had a nickname of Two Gun Steve. I think we have the story from Mike Malone, one of the first speakers there during the service, if we want to listen back in on that.
Steve was a friend to so many, and especially he was a friend to me, a co-worker, a brother in Christ. When I started there in 1991, Steve was there. When I retired in 2014, he's still there. And then I was a reserve officer, still active department, he's still there. I asked him last year, I said, Steve, when are you going to hang this thing up? He said, I believe we'll work one more year. I said, all right, brother. I said, hang in it. Now, he showed me at the range one time. He was one of our range instructors. He said, remember, I want to show you something. He had these two 45 revolvers, nickel-plated. Pulled them out and showed them to him. And I said, man, I looked at them things. So from then on, I called him Two Gun Pete. I'd see him at church, and I'd say, Two Gun Pete. He'd throw it
back, he'd whip out. He'd fire, spin them around, blow them, put them back in the hole. He said, "That's me." So that's you, bro.
Two-Gun Pete. What a charismatic story, a fun way to remember Sergeant Steve Hinkle.
And a great way to do so, and just to paint the picture of who he was outside of the man of the uniform. But, you know, the community, we've been talking a lot about that. News 5's Jarvis Heron is along that route, a little bit ahead of where this procession is right now. And I think we can show you, he's at the corner of Lynn Garden and Truxton. Hearse is about to make its way onto Truxton. I believe we can... well, we're maybe staying here live with Jarvis's camera as well, because there it is as it's making its way off of Lynn Garden. That journey is almost complete.
It is. His last ride almost over, proceeding to his final resting place at Oak Hill Cemetery. You can see now from the Sky 5 drone as the procession makes its way down. You see the hearse right there in the center of your screen, the motorcycles right in front of it as they process.
Calling Kilo 4. This is the last call for radio number Kilo 4. Their response from Sergeant Steve Hinkle. Radio number Kilo 4, Sergeant Steve Hinkle, 10-7, after 27 years of dedicated service. Although you are gone, you will never be forgotten. Rest in peace, our friend and brother. We have it from here. March 2nd, 2019, at 1821.
That very moving last call, and that was a moment where the tears were so audible from those closest to the microphone and the casket. Just so powerful to hear that at 5:21 p.m., the last call for Sergeant Steve Hinkle.
And as the service is beginning to wrap up there from Oak Hill Cemetery, we want to say thank you again to the family, the Hinkle family, for allowing us to be a part of this and to share this with you. It has been our privilege as a television station to provide this to our community on the air and our social media platforms as well, and allowing us to honor the work and the life of Sergeant Steve Hinkle. 30 years with the Sullivan County Sheriff's Department, 27 of them full-time, and covering so many areas of that department. But thank you to the Hinkle family on such a difficult day, and the Sullivan County Sheriff's Department as well, for allowing us to be in and to provide this coverage.
And thank you for joining us and for your outpouring of support. We have felt it. We have read your emails. We have seen your Facebook comments, and we have felt it in the community all week long as we have covered the stories through the tragic loss of Sergeant Steve Hinkle. We thank you for joining us today.